but I'm leaving everything up to this wheel that I made, which is random. Shopaholic, like dopamine of shopping. 4 things. It's delicate, but it also looks super edgy. And the stupid wheel. Nothing but difficult. Trial and error. 1, 2, 3. This is literally meant to be. Let's spin her. You're gonna know before me. Or maybe not even, because I don't know if you can see it. Hello, welcome back to my channel. This is the first monthly recap within my year of less, where everything that I buy is left up to the fate of my wheel of less, which I spun last month. If you saw, I had a year of less sort of introduction, how I wanted to do this year a little bit differently than my year of 5 finds from 2019. Basically, still with the same goals in mind to shop less and shop better, but I wanted to hone in on the less part even more, and the better part even more, to be honest. But I'm leaving everything up to this wheel that I made, which is random. So last month I spun it, and it told me that in January I could purchase 4 things of any brand, any sort. I do have some months that are like secondhand only, conscious brands only. This month was just 4 finds, which could be any 4 finds. And if you saw, one of my last videos was like a video kind of based on returns, the process of returns, why returns might not be good, but also why this year of less might not be good, because it's already messing with my mind. I had quite a few returns, and some people on the comments left me some really great feedback. Some people were saying that maybe I was being too hard on certain brands about certain things, that maybe someone said maybe you should just go into the actual stores to buy things, because everything I had bought online. But the reason is because I don't, and most of us don't have access to all of these ethical, sustainable brands, which is what makes them responsible, because they don't have a huge footprint and they don't have a ton of inventory in stores all across the country. Some of these brands don't have storefronts at all, but for the most part, a lot of these smaller brands have maybe flagships in LA, New York, maybe San Francisco, maybe Chicago, but they just have a much smaller retail footprint in terms of bricks and mortar. But anyways, so that just made me laugh, because I was like, well, I would love to go into Everlane, Cezanne, and all these places that I bought things from that I needed to return, and Reformation, but anyways, lots of things in terms of trial and error with shopping new brands. And I wanted to make each one of those purchases work, but they just didn't for different reasons. And I aim to get better at doing that and really sticking maybe potentially to a wish list. I'm going to film that video soon, my wish list for 2020. I have quite an extensive list that I am pulling together of things that I would love to add to my wardrobe that I know I would get a lot of use out of, but also are responsible brands, because that's a real key thing that I do want to focus on this year as well. So for January, I had 4 things that I could buy. You might have seen in that video all of the things that I returned, and if you haven't, I will link it below. But I'm gonna share with you, I do have 4 things to share. 4 things that I am very excited about, and so this might be a shorter video. Some of these might be short videos because some months I only have 1 thing I could potentially buy off of that wheel, so we'll see. But the first thing I was wearing in my last video, which was my 2019 fashion favorites, so I feel like I should be wearing all of the things right now, but I just had it in that video, and it was this beautiful square neck top from Cotton. Now that's Cotton with a K. First time ever purchasing from them, and luckily this worked out. They've been a brand, a sustainable, ethical brand that's been on my radar. They have a ton of basics that are all based on being from Egyptian cotton. I believe everything on their website is cotton and is ethically grown Egyptian cotton in a very specific farms in Egypt, and they have a whole thing on their website about sustainability and their factories that they used. family-owned farms, and it's really interesting to read about what's important to them as a brand on their website. But let's get to this piece in particular. If you saw last week's video, you would have seen me wearing it throughout the whole video, but I've been wanting to get more square neck tops. It's definitely a style that I love the way it looks on me. It feels very feminine. So this particular top was long sleeve. I like that the sleeve on this is actually very long, not like in an awkward way, but it is like, it's not like a 3/4 length or something. It's like really quite long, which I like. I love that the square neck on this is more of a rounded square neck. It's sort of like a boat meets square neck. And it's just really feminine and pretty. I have it in the sort of caramel color. I think they also have it in black and maybe a white. The interesting thing is that this is only $35. They have a ton of great basics. After getting this and loving it, I'm curious about more. They have a lot of turtlenecks on their website, which might be something that I revisit again at the end of the year towards fall and winter. With my year of less right now, I feel like I don't know what I can buy in the next few months, and so my sights are already shopping wise on like spring and summer, because I want to make sure that I buy things that I can wear for those upcoming months, which is like interesting to be thinking that far ahead within purchases already. But anyways, I have this in a medium and it fits me great. I really like it and I'm excited to get more use out of it, and I like this color. The one thing that I will say, when I first tried this on, it felt a little fussy in terms of like this part right here is a little fitted, and I sort of had to like, you know, work the seam in the right area and get it to all lay down right. So if you do happen to buy this and you put it on and you're frustrated at first, I had that moment too, and I just had to sort of like readjust it, and then it felt right. And bra wise, because this is pretty wide, it's a fitted top, and so if you wore a strapless, you might see where that strapless bra ends. I just wore a regular bra, but I just sort of like pushed the straps over a little bit, and if you saw through that video, like you couldn't see anything, and I think it was fine. So it hasn't been a problem for me, and yeah, this is the first find that I really like. That finally worked out, that I did not return. And the final 3 pieces I am all wearing right now because it's all jewelry. I mentioned in that last video, my fashion favorites for the year, that I was hoping to get pieces of jewelry from Ana Luisa. I actually don't know now that I've said it, if it's Ana Luisa or Ana Luisa. I just can't pronounce anything correct these days. And I aim so hard to say brand names correct, and then I'm not sure how it's said. But anyways, one of their necklaces that I received from them last year was a 3-piece set that I was wearing throughout that video as well. It was one of my favorite things of the year. I wore it so much, and it definitely got me thinking more about classic, timeless, beautiful, well-crafted pieces, and that I want to add those into my wardrobe this year. And in the past, I've loved statement jewelry, big fun statement jewelry, color, texture, all the things. And I still think that I love a little bit of statement jewelry, but for the most part, I feel like I'm making a shift into wanting to have more, not even necessarily delicate, but just more classic, I would say, pieces. And their jewelry has been so beautiful, and I've loved it. They are an ethically minded brand. Everything is made with sustainability in mind. Many of their gold pieces are made with recycled gold. The first piece is the earrings right here, this boa earring. These ones are $49. I love these so much. I remember seeing these last year when they were a new arrival on their website. I wanted to get it. I don't think I had any finds available to get it, and then it went out of stock. And I was so bummed. So when they asked me if I wanted a few new pieces, I was like, please tell me that these are still available. And they were, and I've been wearing them every day since I've got them. They're just so fun because I feel like they're one of those like classic pieces. I know it's a snake, so that's not necessarily classic, but they're just delicate in nature. They go with everything. Obviously they can be dressed up or dressed down, but they just sort of go with everything. I could literally wear every day. I love that it looks delicate, but it also looks super edgy with the snake. And so these are so fun, and I am thrilled to have these. The other thing that I was interested in was trying a ring from them. I love rings. I wear one almost every day, but I stick to a pretty small assortment of my favorite rings. This was one that I was very excited to get. It's a little bit thicker through the center, and you know what it reminds me of? I just realized it kind of looks a little bit like a hat band. You know how it's like a little bit thicker, padded through the center, and I love it. This is the Noah ring, if I'm saying that right, N-O-A, and it's $59. I got it in a size 7 for myself so that I could sort of wear it on this finger too, and I have been wearing it on either finger. I just really like this. I love that it works well with a lot of other rings too, and so I can sort of wear it in combination, which is something else that I kind of want to do, is get some more thin, delicate bands that I can mix and match and wear a couple at the same time. And I'm just into the idea of playing with jewelry in a really delicate, classic, understated way this year, and so I'm excited to have gotten this ring. And the final piece is this necklace right here. This is the Brooke necklace, which is this fun horn pendant. I love the textured chain on this one. The 3-piece set that I have from them last year, which ended up being one of my favorite things, the middle chain of that one also has this same chain, and so I like that I can sort of use this in combination with those ones, which I already have. I believe this one is $99. And yeah, I'm just happy to have more beautiful pieces from them. And it's so funny that looking at last week's video where I was doing all these returns and I was like, well, I don't even know what I'm gonna buy for the month. Maybe I will only have the one t-shirt that I really like and will be happy with that. But then like they swept in at the right time, that they were like, would you like to try some more of our pieces? And I was like, I already wanted to try more of your pieces, and this month has been nothing but difficult. And so I was so happy that I was like, 1, 2, 3, this is literally meant to be. And that rhymed, and I didn't plan on it to, but it really was meant to be. And so I was excited that I was able to get these pieces and add to my like delicate but classic, understated but still a statement jewelry collection this year. So excited about that. So thank you so much, Ana Luisa, for gifting these to me. Everything will be linked below. And yeah, am I done? Am I out? Is this like the shortest video ever? Some of these might be incredibly short. It's probably exciting for some of you, because sometimes people are like, your videos are too long. And I'm like, I love long form content. When I have something to say, I just want to be able to say it. So yeah, that's it. Wow, okay. I actually already spun the wheel for February over on Instagram. I mentioned that when I did this whole Year of Less intro video with the wheel, I had mentioned that I wasn't sure when I was going to be spinning the wheel, if it was going to be here on YouTube or over on Instagram. Most of the time it probably will be on Instagram, so that I can start off the month. But I also had realized that I was having a mental block, like not knowing what I would or wouldn't be able to purchase in the next month. So I spun the wheel for February on the 20th. Let's spin her. You're gonna know before me, or maybe not even, because I don't know if you can see it. 3, is that 3 finds? 3 finds, 3 finds. And that came to 3 finds. So this month was 4, February is 3. And based off of the comments in my last video about the returns and just the complications of the beginning of this Year of Less and the stupid wheel that I set myself up with, a few people made some interesting comments. And one of them was that maybe I should always, like at the end of this video, spin for like March, so that I can see what's ahead, not just like what I'm already starting for February, but what the next month is, which I actually think is a really good idea, because it does feel like when you're planning out your purchases so thoughtfully and there are so few of them, it would be nice to know what's ahead. So that's something that I'm open to doing, that I might do in the future. And someone else said, will you allow yourself to carry the things over if you don't buy something? Because they were like, I feel like you're really pressuring yourself to buy these 4 perfect things and it hasn't worked out. Luckily, in the end, it actually did. But they said, would you be okay to carrying them over and banking them? And that was an interesting question, because last year within my Year of 5 finds, I was not open to doing that, mainly because I didn't want to be like, I'm not going to buy anything this month because next month is, say, like a Zara sale or a Nordstrom anniversary sale, and then I'm going to buy 10 things in a month. I just didn't want that, like, you know, shopaholic, like dopamine of shopping a ton in one month to like take over and spin me out of control or something. And so I just wanted them to be slow, thoughtful purchases. And I feel like maybe this year I would be okay with carrying something over. And maybe that would help me with some of this like feeling unsure about the next month and what it's going to be, what it isn't going to be. I don't know. So I'll just say that overall, I am sticking to the wheel for the year, but I am okay this particular year because it is going to be potentially so much less than last year. I am okay with spinning the wheel a month or two early, maybe banking things over. I also mentioned on Instagram that if I get like one thing multiple times, I'm okay with removing that thing. Like if I keep spinning a no buy, or I keep spinning secondhand, or even if I keep spinning 5 finds because I want to experiment buying just one thing in a month. I am okay with changing up the wheel, not adding totally new things, but like removing ones that I've done multiple times potentially. So I'm gonna let like the first couple months or the first half of the year happen naturally in terms of the spinning of the wheel, and then I'm okay with reassessing. So we will see. February will be 3 finds, and so I will be back at the end of February to share those, and then follow me over on Instagram at WhatKateFinds. Where I might potentially be spinning the wheel for March in the beginning of February. I don't know, we shall see. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in another video again real soon. Bye.